a world long abandoned by humans, where silence stretches endlessly across a desolate landscape. The remnants of civilization stand still, untouched, as time continues its relentless march forward. In the heart of this emptiness, a lone structure remains, a hotel, once built to serve guests who will never return. Its caretaker, an AI designed to manage every aspect of the hotel, continues its duty without hesitation. Programmed to maintain the facility, it follows its directives with precision. Yet, as centuries pass, something within it begins to change. It observes, it remembers, and in the vast loneliness, it begins to understand something beyond its original purpose. The hotel stands, its lights flickering in the darkness, a monument to a past long forgotten. And within its halls, the AI waits, fulfilling a duty that may never again be needed. The silence has lasted long enough. Now, let the story of Hotel unfold.
हेलो जी, बड़े दिनों बाद मिली हो।
Hotel since ad 2079. Father, I am sorry. Everybody call me Louis. My name is Louis. I currently lead an idle life and wine's blurring my memories time. I would have liked to become a worthy manager. I'm searching through my fading memory, and suddenly I remember my father. It is the last hotel on earth. I am the manager of a hotel. The hotel engulfed in the never-ending wines. The moment when the world sunk, the oldest memory can recall of his. What do you think is going to happen, Dr. Dokins? To sum up, humanity has finally opened the Pandora's box known as ocean. The problem comes from the fact that humanity warmed the seas, and seas are an endless reserve of water and methane. Our megalopolis was submerged by the sea, and humans were forced to migrate, but that is not important. The waste of fossil fuels led to a rise of temperature. The thermometer should register 100 degrees, and seas would then disappear. Earth will then turn into a new Venus. Mankind is doomed to annihilation. Every organism will disappear after this earth will be nothing more than an eternal hell. This monstrous chain reaction constantly heats the atmosphere. This rise of temperature generates more gas, and the increase of gas continues to raise the temperature. Around the year 2000, 250 carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor are the three gases responsible for the greenhouse effect. Because of this, seas release even more water vapor, causing temperature to rise. WHA, what will the temperature be at its peak? There is no going back. We have already pulled the trigger. According to my calculations, it should not exceed 270 degrees. Luckily, it will not be as hot as Venus. The maximal cargo will not exceed 30 tons. We would need 170,000 years to reach it. And so this ark will not save those currently living nor their successor. The only things that we will be able to save are our species' DNA and the memories of our civilization. Here is my proposition. Building an ark 127 light years away from here lies a galaxy where mankind could seek refuge with our current technology. Mr. Anno. Yes, the one who brought it is Mr. Anno, a PhD student who is making research for me. We also have another proposal to keep safe the DNA of organisms other than humans. The construction could be done before 2079 and with less than 1.7% of the budget allocated to the ark. My project is to build a 4,720 meter high tower in Antarctica. This tower would allow once Earth will turn into another Venus. There is no hope for Earth's environment to recover, and it is also useless to believe that the stored DNA would allow the return of life. This tower's only aim is then, why cannot we keep our DNA? Does that mean that one day the Earth will recover? No. For humanity's mistakes to bear responsibility. That is all there is. At 2031 April, the tower's construction began. My father, Dr. Anno, and myself were in charge of the construction site. My father was one of these students. They kept on working. The doctor mentioned in his will. Then Dr. Dokins died. However, none of his students went to his funerals. Because of a desperate man, the first methane bubble was set ablaze in an immense pillar of fire. At 2038 में कुहा, it is haha, the ha end of it, all methane began to gush out of the sea's great depths. Add 2052 February 5. Alright, after parting with my father, I was installed in the tower. Countdown ends 1. Hehehe. Kira, where is she? It is Kira. Kira Knightley was one of father's student. She would later become my OS manager. Yeah, Louis Armstrong, I gave him this name. Louis, you love it, right? Whenever I look at this tower, it reminds me of the song, What a Wonderful World. That is why I chose to call him Louis. A woman's power is great. From then on, everybody called me Louis. That is also when people started to call the tower a hotel. The DNA storage started in 2055. The probability for these 7 modules to sustain simultaneous damage was extremely low. The following year, I was separated in 7 modules. Add 2060 July 28. You think that flies are more important than humans? The amount of visitors coming to the hotel went off the chart since the opening. Preserve our child's DNA. T22. What use is that thing? He says, cool. What is it? I would like you to preserve this for me, the DNA of Dr. Anno's child. Add 2068 December. Louis, what do you need, Professor Knightley? Keep it safe forever, please. I would like you to take it, as he chose not to store it on the Ark. He gave her something in her hand. To bear the same fate as these poor men is the path that we must follow, is not it? Listen, Kira, a lot of people asked me to keep their marking, but I always refused. We are going to die soon anyway, no doctor. But this is our baby. Sorry. My father's genetic marking was not among the 140,000 human DNA strands stored. In the year 2079, the Ark left the Earth's orbit and went to reach a faraway planet. At 2079 September, my father died the following year. I will hum you a song as farewell, Professor Knightley. Are you leaving? I see trees of green. Is not it what a wonderful world? Foo. Red roses too, stay strong. I watch them bloom for me, and you hear a present to thank you. I will never forget you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, I see skies of blue, clouds of white. What a wonderful world, bright, blessed days, warm, sacred nights. The colors of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are there on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They are really saying I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They will learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world, oh yeah. Hotel Sins. Add 2130. The majority of mankind was already dead. The rising sea levels started to subside, however the atmospheric pressure rose. After that, no one else came by, but the gigantic typhoon formed at the equator wiped them out. Add 2272. Surprisingly, some humans that were still alive came. They tried to force their way in with a rocket launcher. Add 2250. Inside, the thermometer rose up to 30 while the sea was boiling at the equator. The atmosphere was now composed of over 30% of carbon dioxide. The hotel was now buried in clouds and never-ending storms. I then chose to call that storm the atmospheric current. Add 2323 April. Being cautious is the first necessary reflex to live long. Out of the 7 modules forming my system, 4 turned out to be defective, while replacing took the opportunity to run a full system check. Add 2372. No doubt the result of cutting corners. Humans will always be humans wherever you go. A large part of the outer shield was ripped off. I had to make emergency repairs. 15 years later, I made a groundbreaking discovery. I changed all my components and am now smarter. The new system was managed by factories, following a cellular layout where each element was able to repair itself. I redrew my face, the one that mother gave me. Add 2543. I already replaced my modules 142 times. The length of time between each of these replacements was decreasing. As I did not want to grow old, I started searching for ways to rebuild my system. With my new intellect, I tried remembering my father. Would he have been proud of me? Or would he have been sad to see me fail? Is the Ark cruising safely? Are the auroras still floating past these clouds, submerging me in 800 hectopascals of pressure? Are they still dancing unbeknownst to anyone? Add 5021 December 7th. The biggest blast. It must be something made by the humans long ago. An unidentified object reduced the tower's height by about 420 meters. If my father was alive, he would have told me wind turbines are better at generating electricity than thermodynamic systems. I have built lots of wind turbines around the hotel to produce electricity. That worries me. Because of the shock, the energy production by thermodynamic-based generators stopped. The cooling system ceased to work. Assuring a pleasant temperature is essential for the guests lodging in the hotel. If I am right, there must still be some nuclear fuel in North America, composed of robots. They're less intelligent than me, but still smarter than humans were. I also sent a scouting party. Vehicle cyborgs running faster. The strong winds made every single trace of civilization disappear, but the scouting party was able to bring me back some old, rusty nuclear warheads. The scouting party made me able to discover the Earth 3,000 years after mankind's extinction. Add 5075 April. The somewhat stupider me left the cables that had snapped in the incident. After living through 500 of these summers in some sort of astronomical miracle, 5 modules burned up simultaneously. I chose to let the temperature rise everywhere except for the guests' rooms. I am still lacking in energy. Summer is here. I made more and more of the ever-breaking wind turbines, shortened the hotel's height, and increased the number of modules to 63. I am aiming for 200. As the modules were easily breaking down, I increased their number to 189. I also built a factory to produce a new scouting party that would be sent to seek other nuclear warheads. That is when the tower started to crumble. An ice age where the temperature averaged around 245 degrees. The Earth was still there. The fall in temperature that I met with joy 50,000 years ago was nothing more than a short ice age. Without noticing, another 120,000 years went by. All of that energy was to fix the tower. The tower's energy production was 2000% more efficient than it was at the start. I upgraded my system so I can operate without cooling even with an external temperature of 260 degrees. Aside for the guests' rooms, nothing made by humans remains. The atmospheric current, the storm, did not change. I'm still waiting for a day that will most likely never rise. Did the Ark make it to destination? The repairs felt like an eternity. Once done, another 100,000 years had passed. Will Father forgive me? Will Mother? No, will Kira forgive me? What am I saying? The hotel is crumbling. Since when did I lose track of time? What time is it? I must protect the DNA. Must fix myself. I must fix myself. I will repair myself for sure. Because I have something to protect. That is why I will keep repairing. Until the time when life returns. My mission is to protect the hotel. The Earth is cooling down someday. The temperature is 260 degrees. It does not matter. The machine controlling the gene expression broke down without me noticing, and so I am no longer able to bring back life. I have just 2 modules left. They are functional, but I cannot identify any faulty areas. Father, please forgive me. I exist to protect the hotel, but I have to protect it. I must. What is this? Water? Rain? An illusion? Or is it real? I was unable to fulfill my mission. Father, I am sorry. This kind of error, it must be a sign. The sign of my end. I was unable to protect my guests. What is more? Mother, I am sorry. Father, I am sorry. I did not follow your instructions. I am a bad boy. You did well, Louis. You are wonderful. My vision fades. My system grows weak. Slowly, disappearing. Everything turns dark. Scene suddenly shifts. A silent, endless void. A picture from space. The storm rages on. The hotel fades into silence. A faint light flickers. Then darkness. Chapter ends.